I pray you all having a wonderful, thankful Thursday. I came with you this morning. I gave my input on Juneteenth being celebrated for the Black America because this is our time. No other groups are included. We're not going to group ourselves in. I've been doing that for a long time, and it's been jacking us up. It's been hurting our progress. It's not that we don't love you, our relatives from all over the world. It's not that we don't love you, but this is about the Black American family and the Black American experience and the Black American freedom that they have fought and died for, and we are still struggling to get ourselves, okay, back into unity and, making sure that we stay on code, okay? Because when y'all come in here to support white supremacy. Y'all came here on free will for cheap labor. We wasn't here on free will and cheap labor. We were sold and we were bought, okay, and even kidnapped. Our ancestors were either sold, bought, or kidnapped. So you was the seller to white supremacy, and then you want to come and celebrate the freedom we have over here? I don't think so. I really don't think so. That we fought for. Now, you want your freedom, you got to go to your country, wave your flag, and fight for your freedom and wave your flag there. Right now, you are not an American. There's no such thing as a Jamaican American. You can't be dual citizenship. Either you Jamaican or you American. Point blank, period. Ain't no such thing as all these dual citizenships. Okay? Either you love one or you hate the other. And when you came to the United States of America, you sold your birthright to the white supremacists. You sold your birthright to white supremacy. Immigration is the devil's oldest trick in the book, because that's what we were supposed to be. Okay, when they brought us here for cheap labor, free labor, and put us in bondage. And they deal that they made over there in Africa with some of the African tribes over there that was in war. So we already know the deal. We know the story. We know your story. Okay? All the history of Africa is over here. How it started and what put us in bondage. We all the way from the ancient times in the Bible when we were disobedient to God and we found ourselves in bondage. We are Judah. Okay? We are Judah. And the thing is that when we get caught up in the money game, we forget who we are and let the devil play tricks with your mind. Don't you remember that passage from Jesus Christ when Christ was asked to jump down and commit suicide and do all kind of stuff by being tempted by the devil to do certain things, and he wouldn't do it, to sell out? That's what you need to understand. No, God, what they offering you to harm your people, you shouldn't take it. I watched Shaka Zulu, the nation of Zulu Nation in South Africa, on Cape Cod, or Cape whatever, Cape Town in South Africa, when they were being colonized, and the European, whatever, the Dutch or whoever came over there trying to sell them some Christianity and also try to sell them some kindness and friendship, and end up tricking them. So at the end, Shaka, nobody understood that part about Shaka mother being disowned. If she wasn't disowned, she just wasn't going to be the first lady on the throne. That's all it was in the African culture back then. So because of her liberation and trying to come out of the African culture and be what you would say, for rights for women in that time, you would say, they were exiled, okay? Shaka and his mother had to go exile because Shaka's father, who came from a more higher status quo, and she came from a more lower class, and they wasn't going to allow that blood to mingle with so she had to become more like his concubine, and she just didn't want to be a part of that. So she left her people in exile and found she went back to her people, not her husband people, but to her land where her people were, for her family, for Shaka and his sister, or whatever, during that time. If you follow the story, But they try to make it look like it was Shaka killed his mother. You know what happened is that when Shaka started adapting to white culture, he sold out into white culture. Because when that girl got pregnant, he had came for the baby to kill it. Because he did not want that child, the first seed from her, the concubine, to be the one to lead the throne. Okay? So it was a firstborn male child. So they had to have him killed. And that hurted Shaka's mother. And Shaka mother, she didn't realize the damage that she caused. What she did this her disobedience to Shaka's father and took him out there. And when he raised up to be a man of his own king, and he ran his own kingdom, he messed up on killing his own child. Okay? During those times, but it's deep. But I'm just saying the same thing with some black Americans that are destroying their own people, sitting on platforms, and some of them ain't even black Americans. They either the black Americans that really wasn't poured into about their history or nothing, and they just been out here just in pain, you know. And then you got the black Americans that cosplaying us as black Americans. They born here, but they real true history and heritage and everything came from some other place in the world of black people. And when they brought these foreigners here that look like us, they brought them here to replace us because they don't want to pay the chattel Africans their money and the chattels black Americans, the black Americans who they have destroyed in America in a white supremacy system. They don't want to give us the pay that we deserve for our work. They want to give us what they want to give us, but not what we're worth. And what they'll do is they'll go over to these third world countries and to these African shitholes, and they'll bring these people here who are desperate because they probably basically got nothing. Or some of them just want to get over here to America for freedom. They don't want to work. They want to get welfare and they want to get whatever other human resources that we have in the United States of America. So they come here and they want to identify as being black, but then again, they don't want to fight for anything that is right for black people. They want things to just stay the way it is because they want to be safe and they don't want to be pulled out because they don't belong here. So that's the way it is for black America, and that's why we going so hard about Juneteenth and why we not accepting them to be a part of the celebration and bringing their foods to merchants, to sell their foods and they own whatever they have as vendors. We not doing that. Only vendors should be out there should be black American vendors at whatever event is going on for Juneteenth tomorrow. No Caribbean, African, West African, whatever you are, you do your celebration and you sell your products and your merchandise at your place, in your events, in your country, in Jamaica or wherever you came from. Not that we don't love our family from Jamaica, not that we don't love our family from other places of the world, but the thing is that this is the American country. This is the American people. And we are the American people. American comes first. And that includes American black people. The people that have the grassroots of their history here, not the people that came here and sold their birthright. No, it ain't going down like that. You sold your birthright. You don't have no right. You have to follow our way or the highway. Either you follow the way of the black American people us leading, or you go back to your country and you fight there and win your freedom there. And that's just the way it is. Because we kind of getting ourselves messed up with y'all grouping us all in together because we all didn't have the same experiences from where we came from our oppressors. We all didn't have the same experience. Y'all flee, we fight, okay? And that's just the way it is. Y'all flee, we fight. And I'm representing Brooklyn today, y'all, because I wasn't able to be at the in New York for the celebration of the New York Knicks 53 years that they have finally made the championship. after 53 years since 1973. And that was you could get out of my there's no reason for to come here and be disrespectful. You don't have to be over here, okay? You don't have to be over here. You just a disrespectful person and you getting out of my chat. You got issues. Okay, but anyway, like I'm saying here, I wasn't able to attend. Well, he ain't my daddy, but he's my president. How about that? He's not my father. He's just my president, and okay, and I respect authority. And even though, for better or for worse, this is America. He's the president standing in judgment for America. He's standing in judgment for America about white supremacy. So, of course, he's my president of the United States, and I hope and pray that he continue to be my president of the United States for the next 2 years. I'm not mad at Trump because of what was poured into him from his childhood and what he was taught. That's their problem. They taught him to be like that. So he got to stand in judgment for America. You just like he had to use King Nebuchadnezzar to judge Judah because they were disobedient to God and they moved in a way where they wasn't supposed to move. They was running around here, hanging around all these different nationalities and practicing all these different gods, and they got caught up in bondage. They got caught in bondage. They lost their freedom, their rights, and everything. And another nation took over their culture, their language, their everything, stripped from them. So until God uses people for his judgment and he uses leaders for his judgment, and that's exactly why we are in judgment in America on black America now waking up. Now they trying to go back into what God wants them to do. Every man should have his own on the land, and every man's supposed to work along with each other and get along with each other, especially even in business. You do business fairly. You don't just make the American people, the black Americans, spend their dollars and you take and don't give back. Come on, you don't do that. And that's exactly what everybody been doing since they've been in America, riding off the black people wealth, getting all wealthy from the black American communities, from the black urban ghettos and everything else. They don't get no fashion. We set the culture in America. We set the culture in America. And see, a lot of people don't understand that because they've been walking in spiritual blindness and they've been walking out here ignorant and nobody been teaching them nothing. Freedom ain't free. Your freedom is in Christ. And it's when you serve him is when you get your blessing. When you don't serve him, then you got to stay out there and suffer until you serve the Lord and stop stealing from those who do. We serve God, okay, and mostly all his commandments, especially black America, but we the ones who keep getting mistreated and getting injustice. He know who his people are. It is long suffering. But as long as who we know we suffer for Christ. We don't suffer for man. And that's the difference. So let me get up in this store while I'm going shopping to get some things to celebrate Juneteenth tomorrow. So you all have a blessed and wonderful Thursday, and if God's willing, I may come back with you later on if I have anything else to discuss. But I am wearing my shirt saying Brooklyn, New York, because that's my grassroots. That's where I was born. That's where I first made my first step into the world in Brooklyn, Brooklyn, Brooklyn. And I'm just representing Brooklyn today because I can't be in New York today to represent the New York Knicks. And I don't think at my age I would want to be in that crowd. But I just want them to know that I'm out here and I'm saying it loud, that I'm black and I'm proud and I'm also happy. And I celebrate them winning their championship in 2026 and celebrating 250 years of America. And the blessings are pouring out. So with that being said, God bless. Love you. Peace.